Episode 14, back this time in the office. Yeah, it's been a busy week. A lot been going on. So we launched the Christmas market that went live Saturday. Really good. I haven't been able to deep dive into the figures, but off the top of my head, I think it's our best performing weekend. Well, not best performing ever, but best performing opening weekend. Definitely has to be because last year we didn't get the opening Saturday because we were on the wrong side of the market, so they didn't let us open up on the Saturday. So we missed the first day's trade last year, and we only got the Sunday. But I know Sunday was definitely better than last Sunday, and I know this Saturday was mega. So really promising early signs, and we've had a few issues like Tomas, my friend who wanted to work the markets. He's doing 5 days a week, 4 days on the market. He's too soft, so he doesn't want to work the market anymore. So we'll have to find someone else, which is a bit of a pain as Connor and our ops team will be leading that. But I think that probably leads back to like one of my beliefs that, I mean, I thought it would be fine for this just because it was only like a market 5 week job, but really you should never hire your friends because in any other role, I doubt he'd walk out, but because he like feels that he knows me as the boss, then he thinks he can. So yeah, that's been going on. Then we have also had a massive kind of balls up from our main box supplier. So fellow we've been working with for 3 years. Essentially what happened was a bit of miscommunication from me and Connor over who was responsible for the boxes. He was responsible, but I hadn't passed him on the contact details. And then when we were away in Turkey, kind of forgot about ordering them because we were so caught up in that. So we ordered them late, but we ordered them at the end of October, and our box supplier said they'd be ready for the end of November, this Friday, I think. And Connor texted him at the start of the week and he's like, yo, we still on for Friday? And he came back and he's like, no, January time. And obviously that doesn't suit us when we have peak. We have Black Friday around the corner and we have Christmas. And it really hurt that like basically, I know from our side we were probably late ordering, but from his side he told us a date and then suddenly the date becomes 6 weeks later. And what I've heard is that this factory has a deal with Amazon. So Amazon probably have come in and placed like a huge order and they're like, fuck the little guy, we'll serve Amazon. Like he told me something about like, because I placed it on like a Friday at 4:30, it didn't go onto the system because of like some sales thing for like 5 extra days. But like, really, is that a thing? I just think from what I've been told is they produce for Amazon. Amazon come in, you do, and like rightly so. I would fulfill Amazon's order and fuck the little guy, but like I'm the little guy and I'm getting fucked, so it's not fun. What else we got going on? So anyway, I went out, put out a LinkedIn post on that. It got mad share, mad love, and I appreciate everyone who has reshared that. Everyone who like basically just shared it to their audience in the hope that someone from their audience can help me. It was huge. I think there was like 30 odd shares, which I really appreciate. And I obviously don't have time to thank everyone individually, but if you're watching this, thank you. And then I appreciate everyone who got in touch. I had tons of DMs. I was flooded. It was a bit overwhelming, but basically I sorted through them, and Fred from Lil Packaging managed to sort us out. He's an absolute legend. Jamie Clark of, what's his business called these days? Basically he runs like an ops consulting business, ex Hotel Chocolat, and was it My Protein? It's one of those protein companies. He put us in touch and Fred's come through. So we will get the boxes the week of, just after Black Friday, I think the Monday morning or Tuesday morning after Black Friday, which suits us because we do still have some stock of boxes, but we'll be running dry come Christmas. So thanks to Fred and thanks to everyone who helped. Power of LinkedIn and power of guests, put out your brand, because if you didn't have your own personal brand like I put a bit of effort into, then no one's going to be able to help you and you'll have to do all that outreach yourself. So yeah, kind of a lesson in there. Also, so I'm just back from Manchester, had a few busy days there, flew early morning Wednesday 7 a.m. Flight actually got delayed because there was hail and snow, so the plane was like iced and they needed to de-ice it or something like that. Arrived into Manchester, met with a supplier. That went well, like really well, and with big plans between the two of us now for 2026. It's frightening that you have to think that far ahead, basically talking about stock for World Cup. So that was good. We then, and a new box as well. So we need to decide how many units we're going to put into that, but we're going to do it. What else? What else we had? We've now tested. Oh, when I was in Manchester, so the main point of going to Manchester actually wasn't just to meet the supplier. That kind of like just came into it. The main point was going to Sheffield to visit our claw machine. So I went to visit our first claw machine that we put into yard ball. If you live anywhere near Sheffield, you need to go to yard ball. It's class. It's a cool venue. It's basically like mini golf, but except football. And it's not like traditional golf. It's street football. So like you're kicking the ball through like the window of a car or through like a tire, and you get points for it. It's proper class. The fellas who run it, Scott and Danny, they're great people. So I went down, met them, basically just saw the machine in its place, discussed how it's going, and it's paying out a little more than expected, but that could just be because it's low numbers at the minute. If like we keep playing it, so basically there's been over 200 plays, which is a good thing because it's only been in a week. So we need to monitor how it keeps going, but yeah, it's exciting. It really is exciting, and I think like the thing we've learned is that there's a lot of potential in it. So we've got 5 more coming, and we probably like I think there can be 800 of these. Like I'm gonna put that out there in the atmosphere. There can be 800 of these in the UK and Ireland. Danny and Scott were interested in buying the franchise, but I basically just told them like we're gonna stick 800 of them, and I don't want to be reliant on you for the growth of it. And they respected that, but they think they can put us into places. So I'm probably gonna either set up a revenue share or just like a one-off payment if you put the machine into a place, like help get it set up. And then how it works on this business model is you do rev share with the venue, or profit share, sorry, with the venue. So it's like win-win. But yeah, we're going hard on these. So yeah, I'm excited to see how far we can take it. I'll probably need to hire a B2B salesman in the new year for it. I was actually trying to poach, I have a friend of a friend who's now my friend as a result. I was trying to convince him, he works for Salesforce, to come to the dark side. He knows football really well, but he's just like making a fortune in Salesforce, so he's just not going to leave there. I guess security and all that, selling a known product that people actually love. Well, do they love Salesforce? I guess that's up for debate. But yeah, I was trying to get him to come and join us, but he's just having too much a good time there. So yeah, in the new year, I'll probably just go out and find some like absolute shark of a B2B and just give them, because it will be commission based, like the scope to earn will be huge, but it'll pay back for us. Like if you put a machine into place, you get like $1,000. So like you could ship 10 of these machines a month and earn 10 grand, something like that. Because for us, there's no real cost to them apart from paying for the machine. And then you just wait for the machine like to pay you back in time. So you just have to be able to afford that cash flow, which we can, because it's very little, like it's small amounts of cash flow. It's not like we're paying 10 grand the machine and then you're like waiting for that to pay back. But sick. And Yardball were telling me another really cool thing. So they're like obviously planning to grow and take that across the country, and I think it'll be class. Like I think it'll do really well. And they're really smart operators, so I can see that maybe 10, 20 years, like that's selling it as a business. Like say there's 10 yard balls across the UK and like just sells for tons of money. But the thing they were also doing, so Danny from there used to work for a company called Goals. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but Goals have like 40, 50 pitches across the UK. And he was telling me like if you build 2, 3G five-a-sides, you can make a lot of money. And that got me thinking, like indoor five-a-sides that is, because outdoor ones have less occupancy rate. And then that got me thinking, like, can we build a five-a-side? Just always the entrepreneur in you. But I had a quick look on Property Pal this afternoon, which is like the local estate agent, as you would say, marketplace, and I couldn't find anything. So maybe easier said than done. You just need really big square foot and some parking. But I think it would be class if you could build it, and then you call it like football in a box, because like it would be a box, like five-a-side, like a cage. But yeah, that's complete tangent. What else we had? Also, this just reaffirmed to me going on the trip to Manchester that if you meet people in person, it just like cements a relationship, and like the progress you can get from it is exponential compared to if you just meet them online. Like the trust you have in shaking someone's hand, looking them in the eye and sitting down for an hour and actually conversing with them is huge. And people appreciate it. I've said this before, like when we travel to Turkey, they appreciate it and they give us something in return. When we travel to England, it's not even a huge travel, but because I've got on a flight, I feel like I get something back in return. Like people just, they appreciate you coming this extra mile. So yeah, I would encourage anyone in business whatsoever, if you're an agency and you have clients, if you are a business working with suppliers, if your suppliers working with a business, just go and say hi to them more often, like way more often than you think you actually need to. Twice a year, I would say at minimum. But yeah, a few other things. In terms of the D2C, obviously it's picking up and trading well because of just general people spending more at this time of year, like sentimental changes and people just spend for like Christmas. It's like, it's really frustrating because you can work really hard all through the year and you make like minor improvements, and then this time of the year you do like nothing, literally change nothing, and suddenly your CPA drops or you can acquire way more customers at the same price point. And like it's cool and all, but it's like I've done nothing and it's just like better. So yeah, it's a lot of sales coming in. And so we're working on, rugby was up. It went up last Friday and it's selling really strong. I think in the UK that will probably be our second biggest product now. It's a really big market and a lot of people are subbing as well. So that's exciting. We maybe have to start looking at rugby league. Maybe. It's maybe extra complexity. I don't know. It's not as big as Union, I don't think. It's definitely big in England, but it's not big here in Ireland. Don't think it's big in Scotland. We have started trying to test new markets. So we basically worked out the cost of shipping to Australia and New Zealand, and it wasn't as drastic as we first thought. And then we just set up ads there. Not huge amounts, like 150 quid per day. And then we just like see what the CPA is at. And then we baked in the cost of shipping. So the cost of shipping is like maybe, say it's a tenner. Don't think it's quite that, but say it's a tenner just for easy math's sake. We just increased the price of the product by a tenner through Shopify Markets, which you can easily do. So yes, they see a higher price. Well, we didn't increase it by a tenner. We increased it by like 8 quid because of like it cost 8 quid more than UK. But anyway, I'm getting too technical. And it's still converting. I think the CPA is slightly higher than what it is at the UK, which obviously isn't great, but like that's definitely a market I think that we could scale into. I don't know how many people are in Australia. I feel like it's 40 million off the top of my head. Could be more, but we're going to give that a go. And I don't think there's any competition down there. So why not? I just need to double check. This is always the thing. You should always double check the actually shipping invoice you get, because people, if you're in e-commerce, the shipping people always quote you one price and charge you another. And then they'll be like, oh, there was extra delivery fees because it was like in the middle of the outback. And so suddenly it's £10 more expensive than they told you. So always double check your first shipping invoice to make sure the price is what you pay. We're shipping with Royal Mail, so normally the price is what you pay. But if you ship with anyone else, like FedEx, DHL, UPS, like any of them, they'll just charge through the roof. So there's a bit of free advice. Thinking what else? We've got started interviews for my personal assistant in-person one, and the people we're getting through is class, really, really good. I'm really happy with that in comparison to the people we've had for the e-com growth. Like I still just haven't found the one for me for the e-com growth. I've had a few people messaging me now recently about that. So appreciate if you're watching this content. Yeah, definitely drop me a message. And if I didn't think you were the right fit, it's not like an insult to you. It's just, I have a particular skill set I have in mind for this role, because the role is eventually going to replace me, like a good bit of what I do. So I need you to be really aligned with what I vision. And so there's been some good people apply who just aren't aligned with what I want. But I'm happy. I think a lot of them have been getting jobs elsewhere as well through the hiring process. So I'm happy, they're getting snapped up. I think that's all I want to touch on. Like it's been a long week. It's been a good week, but a lot of struggles, a lot of stress for a few reasons I mentioned. But we keep moving and we keep making progress. And next week it'll be Black Friday. So hopefully it passes, no incident, nothing like website going down or ads stopping because like a failed credit card charge. That's like the two worst things that can happen on Black Friday. So fingers crossed, we'll be fine. Our offer, for anyone wondering, by the way, a lot of people go early. There's a lot of research on this. Well, not a lot of research, but like anecdotal research, basically talking to like our CFO, fractional CFO, Stu, who works across like, he sees like 30 accounts. He himself is probably in like 15. Going early on Black Friday, like all those brands that go really early, it only works if you do a lot of different offers. So you start off like really cheap offer, like maybe 10% off, and then you have to go 20. And then maybe you start getting really creative and you're going buy two, get one free. And then you're maybe discounting products that haven't sold earlier in the thing. So that's a lot of effort. But if you go really late and you just have one really good offer, you do the same as the people who went really early and then have to do tons of offers. So just keep that in mind, like going early, and like you just have to have patience. Like 4 years in on Black Friday now, the thing I've learned is I feel like I'm always last to go, but our results are always as good as anyone else. So patience on Black Friday is key, and having a really good offer. And I think the best offers are not discount percentages. I think they're bundling, but that's just my own opinion. A lot of people like look at Black Friday wrong. In my book, they just do like 80% off or some mad stuff like that. But like, can you build a bundle that provides really great value to the consumer and then also gives you really great value per basket? But maybe that's like a completely separate video. It's something I learned off Connor Martin when he spoke at an event last year, and it like really opened my eyes. So I probably explained that very bad. But anyway, that's all for episode 14. Appreciate all the support, and I'll be back next week.